I'm Jianna Nichols, a kid reporter with Invention Convention Worldwide. I'm honored and excited to introduce my guest, David Coronado, Program Officer with the Lemelson Foundation. Welcome, Mr. Coronado. I'm thrilled to have you.
Hey, thank you for having me, Gianna. It's great to be here.
So, Mr. Coronado, let's just begin with having you tell us about the Lemelson Foundation, who you are, and what you support.
Yeah, well, the Lemelson Foundation was actually started around focusing on invention. And the reason why is because one of our founders, Jerry Lemelson, he was actually a prolific and independent inventor. He had over 600 patents to his name. It ranged from industrial technologies all the way up to toys, just kind of whatever was in his mind. So anyway, he built a career after being an inventor and engineer. And so the foundation was started because it was, the family felt like our world is all invention, right? We have our natural world and everything else is invented by someone. And they were seeing some really critical issues around the world from food insecurity, now even climate change, thinking about there's some big problems in the world. And if we're not creating the next generation of inventors, we have an issue there. So we look at creating, supporting those who create technologies that help improve lives of others. We also look at the pathway to get there. So from K-12 to higher education, we work on how to support those folks to become inventors, to have that inventive mindset, and hopefully go on to create inventions and even create businesses around these. So not only being able to solve big problems, help our economy, but also just create, citizens who are prepared for the 21st century.
Wow. Okay. A lot to do with the inventing community and everything. I'm very inspired as an inventor. I hope you don't mind. I did a little research before the interview. You seem to have spent over 10 years in MESA, Mathematics, Engineering, and Science Achievement. For those who don't know, I didn't know it first. So you've been involved with STEM and invention education for a while. How exactly did you get into all of this?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I really have been working for programs that serve me. So I'm first generation to go to college. I grew up low income, and there were a number of programs that really supported my interest in education, and then got me interested in STEM along the way. So, yes, I was an alumnus of the MESA program back in California. I worked and was a student of another math and science program. So that's kind of taken me on this journey of like working for those same programs. Happened to find an opportunity here in Oregon and took advantage of that. One of the things that drives me is really around my passion to create equitable opportunities for youth who don't necessarily get that chance or that choice. So I feel like everyone should have access to education, a good education, and an opportunity to think for the future and will choose their own future, what they choose. So that's kind of taken me into math, engineering, science. And when I was at Mesa in Oregon, we started working on Invention. I happened to be a grantee actually of the Lemelson Foundation. And in that turn, learned about invention and then just really dove headfirst into it.
Mhm. I know that inventing can be a very intimidating activity, I think. As someone from a minority and as a kid also, inventing kind of seems like this world that you can't touch. And I know that there's a lot of people that really have great ideas. So I'm really glad that you're reaching out and giving that opportunity to people that don't think that they have that chance.
Oh, no problem. I think our founders for being able to do this work. Jerry Lemelson always said that the most untapped resource in the world was brain power. And think about everyone can be an inventor. And I always look at the number of folks we're not enabling to bring their ideas forward. We're missing a lot of opportunities here to solve big issues that we're dealing with. Imagine if someone who we did not bring in this world to be able to do invention had the cure for cancer in their brain, right? Like it was there and maybe over time would have prospered. So anyway, I think it's an important cause to take up.
Yes, it very much is. The Lemelson Foundation is a major supporter of the Henry Ford's Invention Convention worldwide. Can you tell us a little bit how this partnership aligns with the Lemelson Foundation's mission and goals?
Yeah, as I said, we're really focused on generating new ideas, stimulating thought, and really helping folks prepare for the 21st century. So when I first met, the founders of the Invention Convention National Program, I really was impressed by the vision of, wow, there's all these programs across the country that are doing this, but how can we help more more youth have opportunities to these, invention education programs. And so that's kind of where we align, which was like, hey, look, if we can help support those who are doing this work, do it even better and reach more students so they have these opportunities, right? So not those that who can afford, but those who can't, like reach everyone. That's the opportunity I think we were excited to align on.
Yes, I find that very exciting. I think we touched on this a little bit before, but what hope do you have for the future in invention education?
Well, as I said, I think inventing itself, I don't think everyone needs to be an inventor. I think the foundation and I, we both feel like everyone should be inventive. You need to be creative in your life. You're always facing life problems, especially as we're talking about being a first gen college bound person or being low income or even being a person. There's always barriers in your life. And I think knowing how to identify problems that matter to you and be able to find solutions to that, that's the key to what invention education is really helping students have these opportunities to pick problems they care about and learn how to develop those, like we talk about it in education mindsets, but it's like being creative, like being persistent, sticking through it. Those are all important for the future. So with that being said, I mean, we really are trying to ensure that every child has multiple experiences across their life, and hopefully education changes so it's not. I know, Gianna, that you're probably bored with like, hey, go memorize this and go take a test on it versus saying, hey, let me take all that knowledge and actually put it towards a problem I care about, right? So I think that's what we hope education can be for everyone, and we hope invention education can be a path towards that.
Mhm. That's what I love about invention education. In school, a lot of things are hypothetical and we're just writing things down on paper. And the fact that invention education is so hands-on and really getting people involved is something that I know that I appreciate and many of my peers appreciate.
I mean, who likes to memorize things, right? I mean, I was a person, I did STEM and, did biochemistry and all these big classes, but at the end of the day, I was memorizing stuff. But when I was able to put things in practice, I remembered it a lot more, I was able to put it in the real world use. And so you can't see you see a nice clean background, but like on my desk and in my room is like a shop office. So I'm always playing and tinkering as well and solving my own little things. And so I think it's just fun. People want to do that and not just, focus on content that may not be relative, may not have impact on their life.
I mean, inventing is very fun, and I know that sometimes the process isn't as fun. And sometimes I get a little bit stuck during the process of why am I doing this inventing. It can be a little bit hard to think about the future. But it really, I think that your program's motto really reminds me of what I'm doing this for, to help other people. And it helps me have fun with the process along the way. A little bit of a silly question. Sometimes we say that inventing is our superpower. So I just wanted to ask, who is your superhero?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't know if I can name one person,
Hmm.
but I'll name a few, because I think that throughout your life, you're always going to need those folks that stand behind you, right? Growing up, I had my parents. My dad had a fifth grade education, and he couldn't really tell me how to do algebra. But my mom and dad both were saying, "Hey, go to school." And throughout my life, even from then, I had mentors who were helping me, like saw my potential, and really helped me get to that next level. So I feel like it's not that you need one superhero. I would say you need like an X-Men crew, um, of people in your life at different points in your life that really are there to help prop you up and really make you realize your powers, even though if you don't recognize them right away.
Hmm. They say it takes a village to raise a child, so that really is what a lot of people need. I think everyone needs that, their support group, to help them on their invention journey or just journey in life. Do you have any words of advice to young inventors?
One is try to seek invention. I think right now, not everyone gets access to do invention activities. So I encourage students to really talk to their principals and teachers and say, hey, how can I solve problems in my school that I care about? Like, how can I do hands-on learning? I think if students aren't asking for that, then folks aren't going to be seeking. For those who get the chance to do invention, I always say stick with it. Even those who are trying to advocate for invention in the school, stick with it.
Mhm.
I think if I had a quarter for every no that I was told in my life about something I asked for, right, I'd be a millionaire, I think, at this point. But for even those for invention, it's not easy. Like I'm working on a project right now that's like taking microprocessors and sensors and electrical knowledge and like, it's been a while since I've done some coding, so I've had to go teach myself. So it's hard, but it's fun. I think sometimes you have to realize it is hard and it's okay to step away from something and then come back to it.
Mhm.
But just remember what it is that you're trying to solve for. I think if you pick a big problem that you really care about, just remember about who you're trying to solve it for and keep going back to it and going back to it. It's a nice life skill. Life isn't easy. Invention isn't easy, but it can be done. It just takes hard work and time.
In the end, it's always very rewarding to see the people that you've helped and how you've affected their lives. So I very much agree with that statement. Is there anything else you would like to share with those who are watching?
Yeah, I just encourage others to get involved in invention education and helping youth do invention programs. As we're saying, it takes a village, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot of inventors out there who are looking for mentors um, to actually to go from like a very simple project to something really big and impactful that they care about, but they can't do it alone, right? And if their family can't help them, they need others in the community. So I encourage folks to step up and really reach out to their local programs or schools to see how can you help bring this into different schools. I also encourage folks to learn more around invention education. What does it mean? Who's working on these? There's programs across the country that are working on this issue because we do feel like it's a new way of teaching young people, or like yourself, right? How to find big problems, how to solve them, how to develop those lifelong skills. So I encourage folks to go to inventioneducation.org, get involved in our community there, and also just learn more how they can be an advocate for invention in their community. So yeah, my ultimate message is get involved because that's what's going to lead to change.
Well, thank you so much. I know that your foundation and everything is my superhero, and I really hope that everyone can get involved and get excited about inventing.
Well, thank
So,
you, Jana, and I look forward to seeing your next invention at the next national convention, and hopefully I get to see you in person this year.
hopefully, I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.